So my name's Brian, and I have a pool. And last winter, we had a big freeze here in Texas, and that freeze cracked part of the housing of the strainer pot here. Now I didn't notice it. We didn't notice that the freeze had done that. It looked like it was intact. It looked like there weren't any cracks, but we were noticing it just wasn't priming. And so we did a few things. I mean, I took off this, this right here for the pump, and we checked for some leaks here, and we didn't find any. We used soap and other methods, and we knew that the leak wasn't underground because the pool wasn't really draining. It was just the strainer pot was not continuing to be full. So what we eventually found out is that there were cracks in the bottom of the strainer pot. I don't know if I can angle it so you can see it. You may not be able to see where the cracks are, but they are around this area right here. Down here actually, at the very bottom. Anyway, there are cracks down here in the back part of the strainer pot. Once we found that out, it was like, well, we're going to have to replace the strainer pot. Well, not necessarily. Eventually that's going to be the right thing to do, but we found a makeshift way of covering the cracks in the strainer pot will actually allow you to prime the pool pump and keep your pool filtered and clean. So what we did is we got a plastic bag, went over to our hose, turned the hose on, and then we just wet the plastic bag here. As you can see right here, just wet it. Okay. And then we just put the plastic bag over the cracks in the bottom of the strainer pot that we found. Okay. So basically, it's going to be kind of like this. Okay. I'm going to bring this over here. Okay. Put that right here. Got the bottom of the pot right there, all taken care of there, and what's going to happen is it's going to adhere to the cracks, and so when the pool pump turns on and it starts trying to suck air from the cracks, it's not going to be able to suck that air anymore because the plastic bag is going to be there. Okay? So just make sure the plastic bag is secure over those cracks, and then you can turn the pool pump on. I'm going to do now. Okay. And then in about a minute or two, because it takes a little while for this to prime, you're going to see it turns on. It primes, I mean. And you'll also see I've also opened up this valve a little bit to help it out. There it goes. Slowly closing this so it doesn't make so much noise. And there you can see it's priming. I'm just going to keep this valve open a little bit until it starts, the water starts coming out. There we go. Close it up. And as you can see, we now have the circulation. And that's how we fix, this is a temporary fix for having to replace the strainer pot. So if you were one of those people who had their, who were affected by the winter storms in Texas and you just haven't gotten around to replacing your strainer pot for your pool, you can, depending on where the crack is, if you find cracks and they're all in the same spot, you can put a plastic bag, wet a plastic bag and put a plastic bag around, adhere it to the cracks there, and hopefully you can get your pool pump circulating again and get your pool clean. But of course, the main thing you'll want to do after a while is to get that strainer pot or whatever has the crack in it, whatever housing's got the crack in it, replaced. All right, so that's a little lesson on how you can have a makeshift fix for crack in your housing.